My name is Braydon Chapelas. I am a former youth in care. To me, belonging feels like being seen as an equal, never feeling inferior, and being accepted for who I am. While I was growing up in care, belonging to me looked like coming along on family vacations, not being left behind at respite, feeling included in all the activities that I was doing with my family, and never feeling out of place with my family. There were times where I felt like I didn't belong while I was in care, mostly in social settings or in school where I felt othered or different from my peers because I was in care. Other than that, for the most part, I felt like I belonged in my foster family and in my home. I think having foster siblings with me that weren't related to me helped my sense of belonging while in care. We all kind of fit in and mesh together, and I don't think there was ever a time where, even though we were different, I didn't feel like I belonged. Having an opportunity to be all together as one in my family really helped, and having foster parents who truly did care about me and love me for who I am. To me, having a community means feeling supported, growing together, sharing knowledge, sharing wisdom, and looking out for each other. Community is family, and community is not letting each other fall through the cracks and supporting each other to be the best that we can, despite our differences. Belonging affects a young person's mental health and well-being because it intersects with their environment, their physical and emotional health, and their relationships. I think to increase the sense of belonging in children with family is truly making a young person feel like they are part of a family, that they feel loved and feel cared for, and not feeling othered by family, friends, and their community. I think to create lifelong relationships with children and youth in care through foster families is really, truly doing what you can to make a young person feel like they belong in a home, not making it feel like this is my home, this is my rules, and truly making a young person feel like they're loved and cared and safe in that environment. And doing so, you're creating an environment where a young person feels connected to this family, feels like they are part of this family, and overall, that's building a relationship that's gonna last a lifetime. So some of the ways that you can make a young person feel like they are part of a family, are part of a situation, concrete ways are asking a young person how they're feeling, asking a young person what their opinions are, being true to that young person in sharing what kind of traditions, what kind of things that we like to do as a family with that young person, seeing if those are relative to their own personal feelings and their own personal traditions. For example, holiday season, maybe a young person comes into a family and they don't celebrate Christmas. Maybe they celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, or they haven't had an opportunity to celebrate. And asking that young person how they want to spend the holidays, what things that they want to do, creating traditions that are there for them, that nurture their soul and feed their spirit, and are what they want to do, not imposing on a young person. Throughout my time in care, I honestly didn't have all the supports all the time, and I think a young person now, to find a sense of belonging, I think you need to rely on their community, on social workers, and ask questions, to speak up when things don't feel as they should, when you don't belong, or when you feel like you don't belong, making that clear and trying to figure out ways that are safe for a young person. In my own experience, I didn't always feel like I was part of a family, and that was hard a lot of the times, and I kept that in a lot of the time. So being open and sharing my thoughts and feelings, that's what I would recommend to a young person, to find a sense of belonging, to be honest with yourself and with others around you when you don't feel like you're in a place that you belong. If you are trying to find a sense of belonging, you already feel like you don't belong. And I think being honest with the people around you is the most important thing, and recognizing when you feel seen and feel heard. I mean, I think the first step would be acknowledging their feelings and accepting that, even if a caring adult doesn't feel that way. If a young person has told them that they don't feel like they belong, I think it needs to be very clearly respected, and for the response to be, how do we make you feel like you belong? How do we create an environment where you do feel like you fit here, and what things can we do to improve the situation? Because ultimately, you want to be seen, you want to be heard, and you want to feel like you belong. Yeah, I feel like if you're in a home and you have stability over a long period of time, being able to be part of a family and feeling like you belong becomes easier with time. Constantly changing homes, constantly changing families, and meeting new people, not having that stability makes it really hard to feel like you belong, and doesn't create that safety that a young person needs to feel like they belong and that they are a part of a family.